bank hooks to stick in the bank set out for catfish. And Daddy and sister had a bunch of them on their arm, just dragging them down the creek. And so anyway, they come there. Daddy found a yellow jacket nest.
And the ground, I guess.
Mm-hmm. He drug it and brushed over that yellow jacket nest, and so the jackets kind of swarmed up. And Daddy told him, said, Chet, said, now don't follow there where I was. Said, there's a jacket nest there. He said, he said, don't follow where I was. Said, they'll get you. And it was good. He probably pulled me in the driveway out there and checked all about it. Did he sting you? And about that time, Chick sounded like a bull. He went through a briar patch. I'm telling you, he
was jumping through the briar patch?
Yeah, went right through the briar patch. He didn't go around.
And cussing.
He went through it. And Daddy, I never saw that. Daddy almost fell down the creek bank.
Didn't he roll down to the edge of the creek laughing?
Oh, yeah. That was one of the funniest things I ever saw and heard. Did he sting you? And
did he sting Uncle Chuck on the ear?
Yeah, got him on the ear. And then when he finally got through the briar patch, he went to cussing. He said, of all places, he stung me on the ear. Of all places. So, needless to say, the set of the hooks was about gone. My goodness.
Remember the time Uncle Chuck burned that beehive up?
Oh, yeah.
We came up there and the beehive was black. And come to find out, he had tried to rob it of the honey, and they'd stung him, so he set fire to it. I might have poured gas on it, I don't know, but he burned it up.
Well, what had happened really, see, he had a pit dug in the ground right there. That thing was far from here, that table there from where he had dug a pit, and he'd drive his car over that pit to get in under there, change oil, and the other thing he wanted to do. And while he was working there, one of them stung him. And it was in little black Italian bees, and you can't do nothing with them. They're not like them little yellow bees. They shouldn't ought to have done that. He went and got his gas, and he just saturated the hive and threw a match to it.
He went out of the business.
He had a fire high as the ceiling of that house. And his horse, or mule, whatever it was, he couldn't catch him. He wanted to plow, and he couldn't catch him to put a bridle on him. So he got a shotgun and shot that mule.
And then what's next? What does it say next?
Bird shot or something?
Yeah.
Did they kill him?
No, he
plowed with him then.
Yeah, what happened when you shoot one like that? They'll usually go in a lot and just stand there. And so he walked over there and put the bridle on him. He worked that mule.
Dad, your voice is good. I wish you'd tell that about that when y'all went visiting Uncle Bud and that big old cat or whatever it was. Y'all had gone down to visit Uncle Bud and Aunt Myrtle, the kids and Granny and Grandpappy.
I don't like it close like that, man. I look so bad.
It's not bad.
Hey, Jack, look, we need to set
I
this
could
on
tell
your
you
stool.
that.
Would you get up, please?
That was very interesting.
You want me to just tell it?
Yeah.
Well, when we was all kids, our family, Uncle Bud's family and our family used to visit one another in the late evening time. One would go to one house, or anyway, we'd all go to one house, and us kids would all play. All the kids got new energy at night time. It was just, we played and had a big time. And so we'd visited, and we had an old lantern that Daddy got from his daddy, and we'd leave that at the highway. And when we come in, Daddy'd light that lantern and Daddy'd light it and he'd lead the way, and of course he didn't have much light, but it was enough to stay in the road. So, anyway, about halfway between the highway and the house, we heard our front door slam. Screen door. It had a spring on it. Didn't have no wooden door on it. And Mama told Daddy, said, Ben said, there's somebody just slammed that door. Daddy said it sounded like it. And the closer we got there, well, that door slammed 2 or 3 more times. So we walked, everybody gathered up to the gate. And Mama asked Daddy, said, well, what we gonna do here?
Now, did y'all have a light of any kind that night?
Just that old lantern.
Lantern.
And he said, well, whatever it is, I've got to see what it is or who it is. Said, I've got to get in the house. Daddy said, well, you can't go in there like that. So as Daddy walked up to the porch, I walked up to the steps. And Daddy eased up. I'll never forget. Daddy was very quiet and stepped up on them steps. He got real quiet. And, you know, Daddy never did have, he wasn't a boisterous fella. He was quiet. But Daddy was a brave fella. And our shotgun above the front door, he didn't have a facing over it. And that's where he just put that double barrel shotgun over the door. So Daddy walked up there and he said, well, ain't but one thing to do is to get my shotgun. But I got to go in there to get it. Of course, there was no light in the house, and he couldn't carry the lantern because he didn't know what was going to happen. And I stood there. I was on the porch, like the door was right here, going in the house, like this right here. And I was over here. And Daddy eased over there, and he said, well, he told me, he said, well, sir, I'm going to open the door and see what happened. And Daddy started opening up that screen door. And before he opened, there was something hit that screen door, and he tore the screen off our door about that wide. Just knocked it all off the frame. And I mean, the thing was on. We had a big old cur dog there, and that cur dog went under the house. That cur dog was sitting out there on the ground, and Daddy hollered, sick him. That cur dog was under the house.
You sick him.
Yeah, he didn't want nothing to do with it. Next morning, though, I was telling Randy them, Daddy went out there on the front porch, and you could see where them claws scratched that wood. It's like that big old pole that I fed them Carlson's bobcats with, put that chicken on there. See, I got that pole out there, still got scratch marks on it.
Oh.
And there were scratch marks there. I mean, he scratched that porch all the way to the end, and when he hit the ground, he just dug out. I mean, he dug that ground, take it off. Went around behind the house and out through the field. But,
You think it was a bobcat?
Daddy said it was a bobcat, yeah. He said it was a bobcat.
Wonder why it would come in the house.
Food. He smelled food. See, at that time, and I don't know why it happened, but the food wasn't covered, we didn't have an icebox. And the things that would keep, it was on the table covered up with a tablecloth.
Yeah.
And
I remember when Granny used to do that,
Yeah.
cover everything with a tablecloth.
yeah. And,
Nothing spoiled, seemed like, did it?
Probably less preservatives in food back then, huh?
And
So you didn't have to
yeah.
worry about
But
it.
anyway, but amazing though, he must have just got in there and then heard us coming, because it wasn't tore off of it or nothing, so you didn't have time to mess things up.
He left in a hurry.
Oh my goodness! But that must have been a tremendous heavy cat though. But well, like Carl said, they ain't nothing but bustle and whistle. That's all they are. But when he was taking off, though, you could see the claw marks dug into that wood.
Mm.
I'll never forget that.
You remember the night well, of course, at night when we used to stay up there wasn't no air conditioning. You could hear everything outside. When a possum or something would get in the chicken house.
Oh, yeah.
Man, what a big ruckus.
Oh, yeah.
And that night, the two dogs carried that possum off.
Yeah.
Y'all were there?
Yeah. I remember them going out there, and was it you and Wayne and Grandpappy went out there? And they came back in laughing. And what was the two dogs? Was it Bingo and Jack? Who was it?
I don't remember which dogs it was. I don't remember. I remember the dogs, but I don't remember their name.
But they came back in, and they said one of those dogs had a hold of the front end of that possum, and one had a hold of the other end. And and they was running down through the woods with him.
But when I was a kid, during the middle of the night, you'd hear a chicken squall. Daddy called Benjamin. We got a possum out there in the hen house. Well, we had to go kill a possum.
He'd send you out to do it?
Yeah, a lot of times I'd go by myself, but Daddy'd usually go follow up.
Didn't you get Wilson up one night to help you do something and he never knew it?
Oh, I went down and shot a possum, and Wilson never knew. I shot him with a 12-gauge shotgun. Wilson, he never knew who went with me.
You never knew he went with you?
No.
He was
He
sleepwalking.
was walking in sleep.
See, well, you couldn't wake Wilson up. When Wilson was asleep at night, he was out. And the reason I remember that so well, I didn't know it at the time, but there'd be them little low flying clouds. There'd be a bright moonlight night, and there'd be a low flying clouds going, but it was storm clouds is what it was, over the moon. And when that moon, the clouds would move, it'd be just a brighter day here. But that dog kept barking on the back side of the field down there, behind our garden. So I finally decided to go see. Didn't have a flashlight,
I don't give that to her.
so I got the shotgun. And I went in, I thought I'd waken Wilson up. I got him up.
I need to use this.
He got his clothes on.
How old was he?
Oh, he was probably 8 or 10 years old. And so we went walking down the trail down there, and it was in a briar patch.
Where did this come from, Johnny?
And sure enough, it was a big possum. So I told Wilson, I said, well, I said, if you'll hold that dog, maybe I can shoot that possum. Well, but I never could get a hold of that dog. So I eased around where I wouldn't shoot Wilson. And that dog moved around, running around to get to the other side, and when he did, I shot that possum. And I shot him twice, 12-gauge shotgun. And the next morning I told Wilson, I said, let's go down and see if that possum's still there. He said, what are you talking about? I said, that possum me and you went down there last night and shot. He said, I didn't shoot no possum. I'm gonna have to ask him about that. And I said, no, I did. Wilson, he never woke up. It never woke him. And we went back to the house and got in the bed. And then there used to be a polecat get in there with a chicken.
They would go after a chicken too?
Oh yeah.
I didn't know that.
They
Yeah.
eat chickens?
Oh
Or
yeah.
the eggs?
No, chicken. And a dog would get a hold of that polecat, shake him, and then he'd go out to that sagegrass and just break that sagegrass through his mouth. Just roll through that sage.
Ooh.
And man, you smell that polecat for weeks.
Ugh. That's terrible, as Carlos says.
Yeah.
Dad, you mentioned the other night about the time you and somebody after church went down the river. What was that?
Me and Elmer James. We went to church, But before church that evening, on I guess Saturday we went down on Possum Island Field down there. It had a huge sandbar, that wide from here to your house, and we piled us up a bunch of driftwood on there. And Jack Miller lived at the old ferry, and I told Jack he had an old boat there that when you got in it, if you wasn't careful, it'd just flip with you. Well, the river was up. It had a big flush in it. It got some rain that way up above. Well, I told Jack Miller, I said, after church, I said, we'd like to come down and get in that boat, shove off in the creek, go down and get in the river, float down the river, if you don't mind us using your boat. He said, yeah, you can do it. So we went down after church, after young people's service, we went down there.
Now, didn't you say it was dark and you didn't have a flashlight?
Didn't have a flashlight or nothing. Oh, yeah, no, we didn't have a flashlight. And the river was, as you went on that railroad bridge, right below it, it had a swirl in it. And you had to be careful not to get in because I'd seen it suck logs under. Just suck them under. It'd take one end of that log and take it under, and it'd come up 100 yards down the river. So I told Emma James, I said, now, whatever we do, we want to steer clear of that. And it was dark. Man, that was something. But the current began to take us. And we went down, got in that boat. We got in the boat, and we took us a jug of buttermilk with us. That was our snack. And we floated all the way down that river to Possum Island Field, and shoved our boat up on the sand, and laid on the sandbar there. Way after a while, across the river over there, I heard some deer over there, and I heard a cat make a funny noise. So I don't know if it was a long-tailed cat or a bobcat. There was actually a deer over there, and I woke Elmer James up and told him, I said, "Them deer may come over here." But anyway, I looked there, and then our boat was floating away. The river had come up enough, it'd washed our boat, had it floating, and I didn't have it staked. So I had to wait out about waist deep to get our boat. And but anyhow, the deer didn't come across. I heard them hit the water, but they never did come where we were. The next day, then we had to paddle up that river, all the way back up on there, on that river bridge, and bring that boat back. But we drank our buttermilk. Man, that was an experience. But you know, how dangerous can it be?
Yeah.
That was
Yeah, no light or nothing.
nothing. Didn't know. And late one evening, when Wilson went down there to the railroad bridge, above the bridge, and people was always talking about waiting from Texas to Louisiana.
Is that where on the highway, the Sabine River, right there?
Sabine River, but it was down below the old ferry. This was a railroad bridge, not the highway bridge. So I told Wilson, I said, "I tell you what, I'm gonna wade that river." And I said, if anything happens, you tell them where I went under. So I got me a stick.
Like you'd be right there.
Yeah, right. So I got me a stick. Started wading across. When I got up waist deep, my feet would almost wash out from under me.
Mm.
The river slipped. And I looked both ways. Well,
How old were you then?
I was probably 13, 14 years old. Just a kid. And got out there and I stood there a little bit. See, in that river, if you wade across here, and it may be hip deep, but when you come back, it'll be over your head.
It changes, don't
It
it?
washed out. You start that sand to wash it, and it just washes out. And I knew that. So anyway, I got there. It was same distance both ways. I said, I'm gonna go ahead, Wilson. So I waved to the dude on the side. But to get back, I went way upstream from there. And I waded back across. That's so crazy. It was funny. So,
This is the grammar guy.
yeah, it was a,
You told me, talking about swimming in the river, you told me about the day you learned to swim. Was that at Uncle Harrison named Ether's house?
in no bar pit. Me and I went there. Me and I and Curtis and Chester went
What's
there.
a bar pit?
That's where they dig out dirt to like to build a highway. Like that old pit in front of our old place at that, down the old place. We call it a bar pit. It's just a big pit where they dig out water, dirt. To
I
build a
think
highway.
originally they called it, it started out being a borrow. They would borrow
Yeah,
from there to build the road.
Oh, so a burrow pit, kind of like it's
Yeah.
called?
yeah.
Yeah,
A
and
burrow
it
pit.
became a bar pit, they called it.
They just shortened it up, bar pit. Anyway, that's where me and Ike learned. They was looking at some kind of machinery, and Ike taught me into jump in that pit and learn to swim. That's where I first learned to swim. And it's harder to swim in still water, it seemed to me like, than it was moving water. But anyway, that's where I learned to swim.
Yeah, let's do that, Jack.
Y'all just jumped in it?
Yeah, I did.
And what?
Well,
And just swam?
yeah, I could. When my feet hit the ground, I'd push myself up and get some air. And Ike was showing me how to do all that, you know.
So he knew how to swim already?
Yeah, he knew how to swim, but I didn't. I'd never swum in my life.
Hmm.
One time, didn't you, Grandpappy, shoot a rabbit in a bar pit?
No, it
Or
was
something?
a duck. That was down by the old mound field where they had willow trees all around that. See, in the evening time, ducks would come to roost down there, and they had willow trees all around that pond. It was a natural pond, and that was exciting. Daddy'd get a shotgun, I'd get the 22. Benjamin said, let's go down and see if we can see if any ducks come in. Well, just before it got dark, man, you'd hear the whistling sound come through, and the ducks would hit that water, hit them willow trees, feathers going everywhere. And it'd fallen up, and they roosted in there. They stayed in there, that's where they spent the night,
In the trees or in the bar pit?
in that water. So, anyway, we had one out there, from far from here I guess far from here to the end of this ramp over here. And a norther blowed in. Man, the north wind was blowing, it had turned cold. But I told Daddy, and we'd throw chunks on the other side of him, try to wash him our way.
Grandpappy had shot him.
Oh.
He'd shot in amongst them, and they all flew, but we killed one, and we could see him floating out there. I told him I'd swim out there and get him. He said, "Benjamin, I don't believe you can do that." I said, "Oh yeah." I said, I can go get him. I said, "It won't take but a minute." Well, he said, "That's what you want to do." And of course, it was a deep pond. When he stepped off, I mean, it was straight down. So I shook my clothes off, and I shoved off from the bank. I never caught my breath. Couldn't even breathe. And there's a big long stick laying on the bank. Daddy took that stick, put it down there, and I got on the end of it. He drug me to the bank. I put my clothes on. I never could get that done. And it was cold. I shook like a leaf all the way to the house.
One time you went hunting in the morning and it was a lot earlier than you thought. What happened?
I thought it was 6 o'clock and it was 12 o'clock.
You got up and went hunting, didn't you?
Yeah. Yeah, I got up, I was excited.
At midnight?
Yeah. And I got up and got dressed, got my boots,
No, we gotta do your hand.
It's just about ready.
And I went,
Just about ready?
left the house and went across the highway.
Ready.
And then when you got to the end of that bar pit down, I went around this way here. Along in here somewhere, there was a trail, real dim trail that I'd been through before, but I mean, it wasn't wide open, you had to hunt it.
Why isn't it getting hard?
So I got there at the end of that pit and I couldn't see where that trail was. And of course, it was cold weather.
You was waiting on it to get light, probably, huh?
I was waiting for it to get daylight a little bit where I could see that, where the opening was there. I stood around there and stood around. And it didn't get daylight. And way after a while, I decided, man, there's something wrong. I went back to the house, it wasn't even 4 o'clock yet. And, but I got up and went back hunting. I went hunting though anyway. I got up and went again. Yeah, I couldn't find that place I opened up to where I was going. Cause I was gonna go hit that slough. And go up hit Terry Slough and right on up the creek.
Mhm.
And there was a place there I wanted to go hunt and try it out.
Daddy said the water used to get up under their house and he'd tie his boat to the porch when the river would get up.
Did it ever get in y'all's house?
Not while we lived there, it never did get in the house. But people would come down and stop at the highway and holler just for the experience of going boat riding from the highway to our house. They wanted to do that. And I done tie the boat and go get them. And I had a little old dog named Nippy, a little girl dog. And everywhere I went, she went. And she'd swim all the way from our old place, house, all the way to the highway. I don't know why I didn't put her on the boat. But she'd swim right beside the boat.
Poor little thing.
All the way to the highway and then they'd load up and I'd bring her to the house and she'd swim right back beside me, going back to the house. Yeah.
You'd catfish out in there too, wouldn't you, when it would get
Oh
up?
yeah, I caught a lot of catfish out there. Yeah. Had limb line set out. Yeah. I bait it with soap, ivory soap.
Ivory soap.
Didn't even have a sinker on it.
Huh.
Yeah.
People still use ivory soap to fish with.
Really?
And cottonseed cake.
Got these slushes.
Dad, you want these livers?
No, you can let Randy and Sheree
Got
have
some
them.
here
I guess.
amongst them?
She would've got them if she wanted them, Mom. I don't know, they get any good left over like that?
I never have eaten a liver, I don't know.
I don't care